Hi Aquariuses, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Tarot, and today we are going to look into your October predictions and advice. First of all, I'm aware that this came out a little bit late and I apologize for that. I definitely underestimated the amount of energy that was going to go into all of these individual readings, but thank you so much for being here now, and let's get right into it. So this is going to be a pile for your general energy of October. Then we're going to pull cards for every area of your life, and then we're going to move into advice and messages from spirit. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So in the middle here we have the Mother, number 1. We have Treasure Island. We have Discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. We have Mintakan. Sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation there. And we have 2 cards for your Seed and Sickle. We have Elder and we have Bracken. And the hands here really stood out to me, so we will get into that shortly. So already, Aquarius, I am feeling so much water and flow energy for your October. I think that a lot of things are going to be healing for you and being in flux for you in October. I also definitely feel a big surge of creativity happening for you. I think that many of you guys are going to be in the throes of creating something. I think that oftentimes many Aquariuses I know, and probably many of you guys, are very creative people. So I feel like for whatever your craft is, this month is going to be very active in terms of your creative projects. I definitely feel that way because with these hands sticking out so much to me as well, I think that they are very illustrative of crafting with your hands. And even if you guys are doing something digitally, like it doesn't have to be quite literally using your physical hands, even that is very connected to our hands. Even when we're doing things like typing on the computer or moving the mouse or using the computer, that's also very connected with our hands. So I am very getting strong vibes already that the general energy of October is going to be a real focus on creating something from scratch, creating new intentions. I think that there's going to be a very rich beginning for a lot of things for you, including ideas and intentions. Intentions especially because the creative projects aside, this Discipline card, adding to everything else, I think many of you guys are going to be quite determined to reorganize your current spaces this month, reorganize creatively, and kind of get things set up for you to do the maximum amount of work on these creative projects for you. I think that a lot of you guys, and this sounds like a different message, but I definitely feel like it's in line with everything else. I think that some of you guys are going to be examining some of your roots. Some kind of heritage or origin is going to be also the forefront of your mind that might or may not be tied to creativity or just another rhythm that's happening at the same time. But I definitely feel like some of you guys are going to be examining your current roles in your life or your current relationships with your hometowns, with your childhood, basically from whatever you consider to be your origins or where you came from, especially the way that it influences you creatively now. And that doesn't have to be so literal either, not just influences you creatively, but maybe even the way that your upbringing or your origins have affected your creative habits or other habits that affect your creativity, so to speak. For some of you, there might be even a sense of nostalgia or a sense of longing for an ideal situation that you idealize in your head as the ideal creative upbringing. Although there is a soft reminder here that while it is completely within your prerogative to explore that, to make sure that you don't get hung up too much on the what ifs. Yes, I think that many of you guys are just going to be so deep within the throes of creativity and rich ideas this month. So I'm also going to pull the guidebook for Elder and Bracken, as I tend to do for these plants. So we're going to start with Elder, which is 34. Elder. The elder is a tree beloved by mischievous magic and inhabited by pixies and ghosts around the world. Stopping beneath it for too long may lull you into a long and gripping sleep. Drawing this card is a warning. You may soon be tempted to slow down and take things easier, but doing so may mean you've missed some key opportunities. Whatever waits to lure you away from your goal, don't let it distract your focus. So that is perfectly in line with some of the things that we're talking about. I actually even got a light chill from that. I think that specifically connects to with the discipline card, where some of you guys are really going to be no nonsense on your creative goals this month. If you're going to be seeing some distractions, kind of like these hands here, you're going to be like, stop right there and turn around, because I am focused on XYZ this month and nothing else is going to deter me from that. So I think that you guys are going to be exhibiting a different level of discipline and determination this month. You're going to be setting some really strong intentions and boundaries for yourself. Next, we're going to look at Bracken. A popular ingredient in many magical rituals is fern seed, a mystical golden seed that appears when ferns magically flower at midnight on the summer solstice. The actual existence of fern seeds have never been proven, nor have ferns ever been seen to flower, but the magical reputation of the seed remains, as does the fern's mysterious secret. Take your cue from those who would wait an entire year for those seeds' brief appearance. Exercising patience will benefit you most here. That one ingredient you need to succeed in your goal may not come immediately, but rushing after it will not get you anywhere. So at the same time, there is also a message here to practice some patience while you are very much within the throes of creativity this month. Some of you guys may want everything to just keep flowing smoothly throughout the whole month, but there might be a certain spark or a certain last bit that you want to add to some of your creative projects, then you might be a little impatient for that. But similarly to the message of the Bracken, there's the message here to exercise some patience and know that that spark will come to you, that last thing you were looking for will come to you if you don't hold too much into it and allow it to come to you naturally. So that being said, Aquarius, we are going to pull cards for every area of your life. Spirit, what is in store for my Aquarius's health this month? What does my Aquarius's health look like this month? Kind of hopping out. We have number 21, the world. It looks to me like your health looks like it's going to be pretty good this month, Aquarius, overall. I think that there is a sense of completeness, so to speak, in your health this month. I think that you guys are going to do a really good job on approaching your health from all levels. So I feel like this is an indication that you guys are going to have a good balance when it comes to your mental health, your physical health, your diet, your exercise, etc. I think that this is a general indication that you guys have got health locked down this month and that you guys are going to be feeling pretty good and pretty fulfilled. Spirit, what is in store for my Aquarius's social life this month? Aquarius's social life. Ooh, we have the Star coming out. So another fun card. I think that health and social life so far are going to take more of the center stage this month for you, Aquarius. I think that a lot of you guys might be making some new friends or having some new relationships that make you feel particularly hopeful. I think that you guys are feeling optimistic about some of your social interactions this month. It seems to be like there's going to be a lot of fun experiences. But overall, you guys are going to be feeling, yes, quite hopeful for your social life this month. Spirit, what does Aquarius have for creativity this month? This will be an interesting placement for you. Ooh, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. I need to double check what this is. Usually in this deck, bones are swords, which I assume the skull is, but let me just make a double sure. Yes, that is the Ace of Swords, but it coming up in reverse is kind of interesting. I think that there is a message here that while there is just so many ideas coming into your head this month, Aquarius, I think that you might have a difficulty focusing, so to speak, on any one of them. Just because there's so much going on. So I would also advise you to exercise some caution here and some moderation. For example, you might have tons and tons of ideas, but that also doesn't mean that you should run yourself ragged trying to get all of them down or all of them finished, especially this month. A lot of projects can definitely be kind of captured in terms of a summary and left for when you have some more time. So I think that there is some advice here that you are getting so much creative energy this month, but don't let it overwhelm you, and take some measures to not face all of that creativity and creative energy now, lest you burn out. Spirit, what do my Aquarius's finances look like this month? Ooh, we have Three of Hearts in reverse. I'll be honest with you guys, Aquarius, this isn't the best card to get in finances. So I think that I would say to practice some caution in your finances this month. I think that some of you guys might be aching about something, and that usually means aching because you might be spending a lot or something similar, but it could also be aching from frustration. Maybe you guys don't have as many financial resources as you want this month, or as much as you were expecting, so to speak. But there is an indication here that there's going to be some kind of aching in your financial house. So practice some caution there, and also keep in mind any perspectives you have around feelings of scarcity or fear of not being abundant. I think that even if things take a setback now in terms of your finances, there's definitely always opportunities for it to balance out later. So just practice some caution in your finances. This might be a good time to do some planning for your finances this month. So next we have your career, and that could be your job, it could be your school, your studies, or your major hobbies, etc. Spirit, what does career look like for my Aquarius this month? Ooh, we have the Six of Wands in reverse. So looks like career is still on a good track for you, Aquarius, whatever that might be. But it might be a little delayed. For example, a promotion that is put off to next month, or a start date for something that's put off into something until later date, things of that nature. it might not be the time to celebrate yet. You're still waiting to have things finalized. There's that kind of nature with this card right now. So looks like the general message here is that if there is a bit of lapse in communication or progress in your career house this month, don't fret. It looks like everything is still on track and that things are still looking good. I think that this is just a friendly warning from spirit so that you don't freak out if you see a kind of delay. It's just going to be a natural little hiccup. So this last placement is completely optional, but we are going to pull a card to see what your romances are looking like this month, Aquarius. And that could be if you're single or not single, but just your general romances. So Spirit, what does romance look like for my Aquariuses this month? All right, we have Justice in reverse and the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And we had this red herring, I think, that just flew out over here. So I get the sense that there might be a romantic event for some of you guys this month that leaves you feeling a little wronged, so to speak. I think that you guys might feel a little slighted against. And it might not be like deal breaking for any relationships. I get the sense that there might be an argument of a sort, specifically over practical matters. Like if those are you who this resonates with or in a relationship, it could be something like a misunderstanding or a disagreement on your living situation or how you guys are splitting the bills, that kind of nature. Just anything that has to do with like logistical, practical matters seems to be having a hiccup this month in your romantic house, and it's gonna be a disagreement that makes you feel like you were in the right but the other person didn't quite agree. So I don't think that there's anything significant there either, but definitely just be aware of you feeling mistreated or like things aren't equal specifically. And that would require a deeper reading for me to see why you might feel like things are uneven this month. But I think that that's something that you should definitely explore. It seems like less so the misunderstanding or the disagreement that's important, but you might need to look into why is it exactly that you might feel wronged in this case, because that might open up the door to give you some more context on a deeper belief that you have. But that looks to be like our general what's going on in October. We are now going to move into advice. And what we're going to do is that we are going to start off with a general FAQ, is what I call it, for some highlights of your advice in October. And then we will move on to just open the floor to Spirit for any advice that they have for you to make the most of October. So first we have Spirit, what is a challenge that my Aquariuses are going to be facing this month? What is a challenge that my Aquariuses are going to be facing this month? I think we have the Six of Cups in reverse. This seems to be reminding me quite a bit of that, of a couple beginning placements in our overall energy from October for this reading, Aquarius. And I think that this Six of Cups is alluding to that. So I think some of you guys might be a little caught up in your ideal childhood, so to speak, especially when it connects to creative pursuits. Maybe some of you guys have a complicated relationship with your loved ones that were involved in your childhood, and you're kind of caught up in the what ifs, so to speak. So I think that this is really outlining a challenge that you're going to experience this month, is being a little caught up in the what ifs in terms of the experiences that you are kind of idealizing in your head for you to have. A piece of advice I would put here is that dwelling too much on the past can really be counterproductive for us. While it's nice to wonder sometimes, ultimately we can't change the past and we can only change the future. And oftentimes things that happen to us happen for a reason and happen to teach us a certain lesson. So remember that where you are currently today would not have been possible without the accumulation of events and experiences you've had in your life so far. So while it's nice for many of us to idealize a certain set of experiences or an ideal childhood, on the larger level, that wasn't necessarily meant for us, and we never really know what that would have actually resulted as. So a word of caution here to not spend too much time dwelling on the past this month. So Spirit, what is something my Aquariuses should be mindful of this month? Something my Aquariuses should be mindful of. Ooh, we have the Four of Wands. I think that there's definitely a message here for you guys to slow down and smell the roses, so to speak, this month. You might be very, very focused on your creative pursuits or other goals that you have or plans that you have for this month, Aquarius. But I think the Spirit is telling you to be mindful that these experiences are only happening now, and they're kind of passing by us every moment, so to speak. So there is a message here for you to slow down and pace yourself and really, really enjoy the most happy moments and the most cherished moments that you have right now, especially with others. If you have any parties or celebrations or like even little hangouts planned with others this month, I think that there is a message here to really be in the present moment for those and to fully enjoy them for what they are. Finally, for this little FAQ section, we are going to see what Spirit advises for your self-care this month. Spirit, what do you advise for my Aquarius's self-care this month? Advice for my Aquarius's self-care this month. We have two. We have 27, hydrate, which definitely speaks for itself, and 18, dance. So for one thing, I do feel like this dance is alluding again to having to really relishing any celebrations you have this month or gatherings with close ones and being in the present moment. I think that there is also a specific message here that for some of that abundance of creative energy that you're going to be having, to not pressure yourself too much on what to do with it, so to speak. I know that many of you guys are going to be wanting to make progress on creative projects, but I don't think that you should pressure yourself too hard to convert all of it into like tangible, productive results. I think that in some ways when we're feeling creative, it's also fun to just enjoy that feeling and enjoy expressing it in ways that don't require a hard result, so to speak. For example, such as dancing. When we go out and we enjoy dancing, for those of us who enjoy dancing, we don't do it to be choreographers. We don't do it to put on a performance. Sometimes it's nice to just do something because you feel the urge to. I think that there is a message here to express some of your creativity in that way this month. And of course, with hydrate here, make sure you drink plenty of water, especially as I feel like you guys are going to be quite fast-paced moving this month. So finally, we are just going to open the floor to any messages from Spirit. Spirit, what messages do you have for my Aquariuses on how to make the most of October? How can my Aquariuses make the most of October? Ooh, we have one flying out. Starting with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh, this one is really sticking. We have the Three of Swords. We have the Six of Pentacles, and we have the Moon in reverse. So already, Aquarius, I definitely feel like there's some messages here connected to some of those creative projects I've been talking about. For one thing, there is a message here to not get too caught up in some of the details. I think that there is a word here to not be too perfectionistic with some of your major projects this month, or it might actually cause you some headache and be detrimental to the completion of the project or whatever goals that you have set out for the project. I think that there is also a message here to not get too caught up on if certain ideas ironically don't come as easily to you. I know that you guys do have an abundance of creative energy this month, but for example, there might be a certain yes, we actually talked about this in the beginning of our reading. There might be some projects where you're looking for that last little something, or you're looking for something specific to come to you to bring something to a close. I think there's an additional message here that some of the answers you're looking for are not going to be so forthright this month, and that there is a real message to be okay with that. I suppose it's up to you whether or not you're okay with that, but try not to get too hung up on it at least. I think that those two things, that and getting really caught up in details this month, can potentially cause you quite a headache and weigh on you even in your creative projects. I think that one of the reasons for that is that you guys tend to take so much pride in the things that you create. It can really sometimes get a little bit too far and make you really stubborn. And like I mentioned, if you get too emotionally attached at times, it can really mess with your sense of worth even, or your sense of capability. Because sometimes if we attach ourselves too much emotionally or internalize a project too much, then we get really attached to the result, which one ironically blocks the way to real creativity and important flow that's needed to make the best result. But it can also make us feel like if things aren't working the way we want them to, then that it's our fault or there's something that's wrong with us. So I think that there's a real message here to just be very mindful in the way that you approach your projects mentally this month, Aquarius. And that there is advice here to prevent you from having any unnecessary heartache in those areas. So finally, we are going to pull some encouraging messages from Spirit for you to take into October. Spirit, what encouraging messages do you have for my Aquariuses to take into October, please? Ooh, we have the universe works fast when I'm having fun. Exactly what I was saying We really need that creative flow for things to have the best result. And that really gets blocked if you start stressing yourself out about the result or something, instead of just allowing that creative energy to be a joyful experience for you. Of course, the universe has my back. That's simply a reminder for you to trust that they are there for you. Oh, and of course, I think that the universe is also saying that they are there to support your creative ideas and your creative projects, and that not getting too bogged down in the details or the result also specifically creates room for them to come in and give you the right kinds of creativity. And finally, right on brand, we have, when I lean on the universe, of a faith of the universe, peace becomes real. And instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good for all. So I'm getting some chills there. Absolutely. Again, don't get too attached to the result of things, the result that you have in your mind, because ultimately Spirit is working in your favor and in the favor for everyone around you. And they've got your back in that regard. So take some pressure off of yourself there. I think I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here, but thank you so much for being here today, Aquarius. I appreciate the opportunity to read for you. And if you feel called to, feel free to leave a like or subscribe. It helps me out so much, and I hope I see you in the next one. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.